We already knew that Goldman Sachs was right when they said that the XRP bulls are about to be let go. This is important news for the XRP army. There are some amazing things going on in the government and the cryptocurrency business right now. I wanted to talk more about them today because I don't think they're getting the attention and popularity they deserve. First, I wanted to talk about how President Trump just finished signing an order that will punish banks that unfairly treat Republicans and Bitcoin companies with money. On a general level, people who owned or used Bitcoin have been subject to political harassment and banks refusing to help them. A lot of it does happen to people sometimes. Because of their political views, people can't get help from financial institutions. I think that everyone, no matter what political views they have, should be able to store their money and gladly accept payments. The thought that this was ever okay blows my mind, no matter what it will be. Now that it has been signed into law, the subject at hand is very important. Banks and other financial companies have been very worried about this for a long time. As a personal example of the discrimination I have been facing lately with both financial institutions and companies that accept credit cards, I would like to talk about some of my feelings on this subject. The fact that I've been trying to set up a trade indicator may already be known to some of you, for the reason of. In order to do this, I've been talking to a lot of different payment providers, such as Authorized.net, Stripe, PayPal, ZenPay, and a lot of other payment providers you may not have heard of. Almost all of them have told me that they can't take payments from cryptocurrency-related businesses because they don't want to work with anyone in that field. It was against their rules for me to sell my goods and take credit card payments. I think this is censorship, and I think that kind of control is not fair. The idea that this makes it hard for many cryptocurrency startups to get into the main market is something I don't agree with. At this very time, a lot of other bigger businesses are also having trouble with this congestion. Because of this, companies like Coinbase are building their own shopping systems so that they can either start selling things themselves or let other stores use their service to accept cryptocurrency card payments. It may seem impossible to think that these problems are still there, but they are. The White House is putting up an executive order because of this very reason. The banks say no. We don't want any crypto clients or crypto at all as part of our thing because they are scared of it, which means that everything ends up back with the banks. The banks are afraid of the Bitcoin market, which is why this is the case. On the other hand, credit card companies can't do it either because it's against the rules of the system and most of their clients are banks. This sets off a chain reaction that makes it impossible for anyone to do business with anybody interested in cryptocurrency. The world in a more general sense, not just the banking industry. This has had an effect on me on a personal level more than once. This is still having an effect on a lot of other people I know on more than one occasion. Could you please let me know in the comments if that has had an effect on you? Things need to be fixed there. While we're still talking about this subject, a lot of new projects are being made that have to do with cryptocurrencies. The future's on commodities. Commission for Trading CFTC is starting a project that will let people trade cryptocurrencies on platforms that are registered with the federal government. It is completely ridiculous that it hasn't been available until now, but the fact that it is now is yet another big step forward. You can look at the $3 trillion that Goldman Sachs thinks the Federal Reserve will start to lower interest rates in September. This will let you hear what Goldman Sachs has to say. There will be a lot of good things in September. That's a given. There's a good chance that the fourth quarter will be really great. From here on out, it looks like we're going in the right direction. In the third quarter, there have been a lot of ups and downs or flat lines. The new and well-known pump we had on hand, though, was available. And ever since then, things have been going in a less even direction. I think things will start to pick up again in September, and it's possible that we could break some all-time highs. I think things will get better for us, a great deal. As has always been the case with predictions about the Federal Reserve, it looks like Goldman Sachs was right about how things would turn out. This means that a lot of cash will be available in the fourth quarter of the year, and interest rates will go down in September. At the same time that this happens, banks will have to offer cryptocurrency services, and exchanges regulated by the federal government will also offer spot trade, if you are in the. There will be a lot of ups and downs in the coin field, especially since some of the biggest companies in the world, like Goldman Sachs, want interest rates to go down. It's very clear what this is trying to say. Rate cuts are supported by everyone in the market. There has never been so much pressure on the Federal Reserve to lower interest rates as there is now. I don't think there has ever been a time when small investors were so interested in the markets and putting so much pressure on the Federal Reserve to do this. Right now is a very interesting time in many ways. You amaze me with how much money you spend, how much you care about the markets. and how much you want more for everyone. So far, it looks like we can make that happen, and I really hope that September will be the month in question. And finally, I want to warn you that this week President Trump will choose the new head of the Federal Reserve. I think it will happen right now, even though no one has said when. The person who just said this is another person who wants interest rates to go down. The conference that happened in September is one reason I think Goldman Sachs is making this forecast. I have to say that it's very interesting. Now I'd like to thank Coinbase for making it possible for Canadians to use PayPal to buy and sell cryptocurrency, which I think is a very important feature. I think that the PayPal gang, which includes David Sachs, Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, and many others, supports cryptocurrencies and is usually against regulation. At least that's how they act in public. I think that this is a big step forward for this area every time something like this happens. I'd like to see more businesses give services for cryptocurrencies like PayPal. Instead of being afraid of falling behind in the modern world of finance, these institutions should use this as a way to start making money in the modern financial world. There is a chance that everyone will win this time as long as people forget about the past and do what is best for their group and their clients. Point. In conclusion, the fact that PayPal and Coinbase are joining forces is a big step forward. Last but not least, I want to say that Coinbase is doing a great job of just doing the work right now. Coinbase is also being talked about with a lot of other small and big banks. I'm excited to see what happens next, but I won't say too much about it. That being said, it's really nice. For me, getting to know a lot of people at Coinbase has been a great experience, and I can't wait to. Look at what the future has in store for me. After reading all of that, you might be thinking, okay, all of this good news, Levi is great. Why is the value of XRP going down right now? I feel bad about this, and I understand how you feel. You all know that XRP isn't going to become very popular quickly and make you all rich by raising the price of each coin to $1,000. This is something that a lot of people who work with XRP will tell you will happen every day. And I can see why they would say that. What I think will happen with prices is that they will be similar in September. Also, it's possible that we'll see this behavior before the end of August.